Let's be honest, we all do it. The scrolling, the swiping, the quick hit of dopamine from something new. A tiny battle for our attention. Distraction isn't new, it just keeps evolving. But for the first time in history, screens don't just steal our attention, they shape it. And as the practitioners of live performances like theatre, dance, and music now face the same question. How do you reach someone who never looks up? As the president of Kakiseni puts it,
we are squeezed out of people's minds because everyone is on their gadget. So we're competing with this finger, with the act of scrolling.
The average attention span has dropped from about 12 seconds in the year 2000 to 8 seconds today. That's shorter than a goldfish's. At the same time, 82% of adults now engage with the arts digitally, while fewer than half attend live events. We're not losing interest in culture. We're just changing how we experience it.
Just reimagine what life is today for young people. Where is the space for the arts? For real-time immersion, for understanding, if you've never had the opportunity to be introduced to the arts.
How can we take a moment for the arts when we live in a constant state of scroll? KUPAS is a series where we take a deep dive into the Malaysian performing arts scene as part of the BOH Cameronian Arts Awards legacy.
The young people today and the young people, say, 20 years ago are very different. Time, that same 1 minute is completely different. 1 minute before this was like waiting by the phone to ring or waiting for the internet to connect. 20 years today, 1 minute is like 5 different short form content with 5 completely new experiences in that 1 minute.
Research shows that heavy social media use reshapes the brain's reward system, teaching it to crave constant novelty. And that makes sustained focus harder than ever. When everything moves this fast, art, which thrives on stillness and duration, starts to feel daunting. So how can live performances, slow, immersive, and deeply human, compete in a world that rewards instant gratification? For millions of Malaysians, digital platforms are where they first encounter art, where they post, perform, and build audiences across borders. It's opened doors for voices that never had one.
The notion of artists have changed. Is there an artist in each one of us? I like to say yes. And now technology has enabled that artist side of us to come out. Now, however, is every work that you scroll through a work of art? No. But should we have this freedom to express ourselves? Of course.
But the same platforms that give everyone a voice also trains us to chase visibility over meaning. Likes, views, virality, they reward speed, not depth. So yes, the arts are evolving. But the real question is, what happens to artistry in a world that rewards attention more than reflection? Still, there's something no algorithm can replicate. Presence.
The one thing that art does amazingly well is to bring people together. When you put on a show, and that show is watched by 200 people, for example, and the 200 people at the same time, whatever that they're feeling, that emotion, that energy, and then the conversations that flow after that, that's non-stop, and then that, oh, this is how I think, this is how I am processing this. I think that is something at this moment technology is not able to do. And we're still ahead of the game in that respect.
Psychologists even have a name for it. Collective effervescence. That high you get from sharing emotion in real time. And research shows it matters. People who attend live arts events report reduced depression, increased productivity, and improved quality of life than those who don't. It's not just entertainment, it's nourishment. In a hyper-connected world, art still gives us what the internet can't. Connection that's human, messy, and alive. So if technology scatters our focus, maybe art can help us rebuild it, starting with the youngest among us.
We have built Kakiseni Junior to help parents understand how to make choices so that of classes of different kinds of lessons for the young people so that they can be really more exposed. We have been more and more involved in the school curriculum. We have been more and more going to schools because we need to sort of expose the arts to the young people as young as they are. So it's not Kakiseni going there, it's Kakiseni bringing a huge community of artists into schools, and then they having conversations, they having activations, and they having experiences together to build a show, to form a show, to have conversations.
When children learn to play, paint, and perform, they're not just learning technique, they're learning attention, to listen, to observe, to wait. UNESCO reports that early participation in creative activities boosts cognitive, social, emotional, and behavioral skills in children.
The power of staying relevant, the narrative of what this generation is about, preservation of that narrative through the arts is extremely crucial and critical.
Yuen is describing a shift from consumption to collaboration. A show can now start on a stage and live through thousands of short clips, reactions, and remixes. This digital engagement may actually bring people back to the theatre because studies show that those who experience art online are 2 to 3 times more likely to attend live events later. Protecting art isn't about resisting the future. It's about preserving identity. Every performance, every story, every rhythm is a record of who we are.
You don't want to be 60 or 70 or 80 years old and you look back and you said, damn, I didn't do anything to protect what is a huge part of me. How do I tell it to my kids? You want to be able to bring them along with you to experience something, and you can't find platforms anymore because you have never supported them before. You got to start now. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to protect a lot of stuff.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into Malaysia's performing arts scene.